and welcome to my review of Twilight Zone Season 1, Episode 4 of Original Series. This is a review of the 16mm Shrine, which scored 6.9 on IMDb. Quite a low score. It starred Ida Lupino and Martin Balsam, and Ida Lupino was a bit actor, starred in films with Humphrey Bogart through the 30s and 40s, among other actors. And Martin Balsam, you may have seen him before in the film Psycho and in 12 Angry Men. So it's got a good cast, but the biggest flaw with the story, one that's commented upon by the few places I've gone to look for reviews, they all comment on the fact that it's a ripoff of Sunset Boulevard, which is fair. It's a fair point. It's obvious as soon as you watch it. However, I think the larger point is that for Rod Serling, this theme about living in the past, more specifically, it's the myth of Narcissus. Boy, that was really hard to get out. The myth of Narcissus. It's a theme that he returns to more than once, and I think that's what attracted him to this story. He does it again in the Night Gallery episode with Joan Crawford. It's the one that's directed by Steven Spielberg, one of the first three that were released for the Night Gallery series. So that's a specific example of how we return to that theme again. But more than that, I want to talk about the fact that for Rod Serling, the Twilight Zone is that area, the interstitial area where reality and the unknown or the unexplored come to meet, and where the unexplored or the unknown, the ineffable, can take precedence. And so that's one way that this take on Sunset Boulevard or the myth of Narcissus is peculiar to Rod Serling's vision, because Narcissus drowned, so their self-reflection, self-regard led to annihilation. And in Sunset Boulevard, it led to madness. But with Rod Serling, it leads to piercing the veil, going beyond the membrane and finding life beyond this reality. And whether that's good or bad depends upon the particular episode. I don't think Rod Serling has a direct view. It's been years since I watched the series, so maybe by watching it all completely, I would have a better take on that. But I don't think Rod Serling has a straightforward view on whether this reality is flawed in comparison to the unknown. I think in many cases the unknown is the danger. But here, I think it's a tragedy that she can only live in the past, and here the past is represented by that celluloid life in the 16mm film, hence the title 16mm 16mm Shrine, implying that this is the mausoleum for her. So, but whether that's a bad thing, from her perspective, she's having a great time. She's living it up. It's even better for her in that other world than it is for her in life. Whether she's alive when the film gets turned off is questionable. It seems like she is, but the only real hint we get that there's some sort of judgment on her final decision is the fact that it's called a shrine, which implies death and finality, and I think that for most of us that would be a fate we would better left delayed. we don't want to bring death any closer than we have to. So in the end, I enjoyed it. It's definitely a weaker episode. I think the biggest flaw is that probably the twist is easy to see coming, even if you haven't seen Sunset Boulevard. But if you have seen it, you see it a mile away. But seeing those two actors is a joy. The scenes within them are well acted and well written. So in the end, one for the series, but not one for a casual fan. I think is the best way of putting it. Boy, that was harder than normal for me to get out. Well, that's all for now. I hope you enjoyed my review and that you'll join me again on my channel for my next review. That's all for now. Take care and be well. Bye.